What's up, friends and fellow gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Adventure with Roger. Today we're going to be jumping into EVE Online and doing a comparison between two ships, the Praxis and the Golem. And we're going to be doing this comparison in level 4 missions and kind of doing a comparison between the two. And let me know in the comments which ship you think is better. We're going to jump right into this, but please don't forget that only the bravest adventurers who subscribe to this channel will make it into Valhalla. Anyways, without any further ado, guys, let's get right into it. Alright, let's go to here, make this active, and here we go. Jumping into it. Let's open up the fittings menu. Alright guys, so this is the Praxis. First thing we're gonna do is go over here to the marketplace and we're gonna pull up ship, and we'll make it easy and just type it in. So where I'm at right now, you can buy a Praxis for, it looks like a bit from between 200 to 300 mil. Somewhere in there you're gonna be able to buy a Praxis. And the most amazing thing about this ship, guys, is, let me just open this up for us, the requirements for using the Praxis. The requirements are spaceship command numero uno. That is crazy, right guys? I mean, that basically means that a brand new player, an alpha player, could pretty much jump right into the game and have spaceship command 1 and basically be flying something that is comparable to a Marauder. And Marauders are basically the best ship you can almost fly in high sec. I mean, they're big, they're scary, very powerful ships in EVE Online. So that is kind of crazy that a brand new alpha player could hop in and fly this ship. And kind of scary, I might add. So what kind of traits does it have here? Well, we're looking at a 25% bonus to hybrid turrets, energy turrets, and large projectile turrets. Then we get a 25% bonus to heavy missile, cruise missile, and torpedo, a 50% bonus to drone hit points of damage, and a 37.5% bonus to core and combat scanner. We're not going to read the description because that's getting a little out of control. It has a lot of capacity. It has a very nice drone capacity. You can carry lots and lots of drones, even medium drones and heavy drones for that matter. Let's see here. The bandwidth is 100 Mbit, so that's pretty good. That's nice and far away. Resistances are all looking pretty good here. Capacitor capacity is looking good. Maximum targeting range. This is the one I have a huge problem with this ship, is the targeting range is by default 70 km, which is not great, guys, especially when you're looking to do level 4 missions in this ship. That is kind of a scary number, honestly. A lot of the pockets that you jump into, the ships will be right on top of you, so then it's not such a great big deal. But when you jump into a pocket and the ships, the NPCs or the rats or whoever, is 150 km out and they can target you but you can't target them, that's a big problem. So that's definitely a con about this ship, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Max velocity, guys, 75 m/sec. That is just atrocious. This thing is literally one of the slowest ships in the game. So let's now take a look at the fittings. Fittings are really solid. 7 high slots, 7 medium, and 7 low. 3 rigs is normal. That is a crazy amount of slots. Crazy amount of slots, guys. It's really good. Moving on. Let's go to the ship we're comparing the Praxis to, is the Golem. And we're going to go to the traits. Right off the bat, you notice we have a bonus to shields, which is amazing. Really good. We have a bonus to target painter effectiveness. Really good. So right off the bat, 2 Marauder bonuses are epic in my opinion. Caldari battleship bonuses, we got missile, torpedo, cruise, and torpedo. So this ship is really focused on missile, whereas the Praxis can probably use, can use all those different weapons. So that's definitely a con, or a pro for the Praxis and a con for the Marauder. But obviously, if you're looking to fly a Marauder, you should have quite a few missile skills regardless. And real quick, let's look, not that. We want to look at market for the Marauder, for the Golem here. We're looking at a very, very huge price tag. We're looking at 2 billion to 2.3 billion versus the other ship was 200 mil, right? So looking, it's 10 times more expensive, which is kind of crazy to think about. So the roll bonus, we have heavy missile, cruise missile, torpedo, a tractor beam, which comes in really handy, micro jump drive, and bastion modules. Can fit bastion modules. That is a big one, guys. Bastion modules are OP. I love bastion modules. So let's look a little bit more at, all right, attributes. So plenty of cargo capacity, drone capacity 75. So not as much drone capacity on this ship as the Praxis. Drone bandwidth 25 MB limits the number and size of drones that can be controlled simultaneously. So the Praxis can use way more drones and bigger drones than the Golem. Resistances are all very capable, very good looking. Capacitor capacity is very similar to the Praxis. Maximum targeting range, booyah! This is what I'm talking about right here. This is just your basic targeting range on the Golem. Is basically over 20 kilometers more than the Praxis. That's really good. Maximum lock target's 10. That's really good. Max velocity 100. That's like 30 more than the Praxis. Fittings, we got 8 high slots, 7 medium, and 4 low. So we gain 1 high slot and lose 3 low slots. So that is big time. 3 low slots. You can do a lot with 3 low slots, I'm not gonna lie. Alright guys. Now for requirements. This is where the heavy part comes in. The requirements are very pretty big time requirements to be able to fly the Golem versus the Praxis. Remember guys, the Praxis, you only needed Spaceship Command level 1, and to be able to fly the Golem, you're looking at a few months worth of training here, guys. I'm sure that all these this level 5, this level 5, there's 4 level 5s in here. That's at least 30, 60, 90, 120 days right there, plus all these level 3s and 4s that are in here as well, which is kind of crazy to think about. Alright, so take a look at them. Praxis is pretty cool. This is the front of the ship right here, so it flies in this direction. This is the rear of the ship, so these are where all the engines are located, right here on the back. And you got this cool looking like shield or whatever that covers this area in the middle right here, which is very interesting. And when you go in the warp, these 2 pillars and these 2 pillars kind of fold in this direction, and these fold this direction to kind of make it go like that. It's kind of neat, interesting looking. We'll see that in a little bit. So let's take a look at a little bit of the gameplay of level 4 mission with the Praxis and then with the Golem. Alright pilots, so the first thing you're going to notice right here is the folding down and the folding up motion of the wings right there that you can see. Here they are folding back up. It's really cool, and then when they get into the upright position, it fills that shield in right there, almost like it's an energy that's holding it together, which is super cool. So as we get set up here, get our little drone menu set up, get our drones out here a little bit, start to turn on our shield hardeners. You're going to notice that we have a major problem here, and that is that all of the ships are 120 plus km out, and the Praxis is only capable of targeting things at 80 km. So we're kind of screwed here. What we basically have to do is we have to fly all the way over till we get within 80 on the right side to pull that pocket. And the problem is that the ship is slow as hell. I mean, it takes like 10 or 20 extra minutes to do this mission than it should. As if I was in the Golem, I would just hit my Bastion module, turn my shield hardeners on, and pull both of these pockets at the same time with missiles. And by the time I got done killing them, they would all be stacked up on me, and right about the time they all die, they're all right there, and then I just tractor beam all the loot in, and we're off to the races. So that's the first con of the Praxis, and the biggest con for me is that the the targeting range just isn't far enough. Okay, pilots, so I turned it up to 4 times speed here for us, and so I can show us clearing this pocket a little bit faster than normal. It took about 6 to 8 minutes to fly over to these, to be able to pull this side of the encounter here. So now I think it's time for a little bit of a disclaimer on these 2 ships for what they're using. For this video, both ships are equipped with pretty much the same tier of stuff. All Tech 2 or better. Cruise missiles with Tech 2, obviously the missiles are Tech 2. GIST A, B, or C or better shield hardeners, as well as Tech 2 low slots and rigs, varying a little bit on the low slots. The Praxis took some trial and error to balance the CPU on the ship to fit all the slots properly. I kept running out of CPU, and it's partially my fault because I tried using cruise missiles and I should have just put heavy missiles on it instead. But I didn't really have the skill level to use the super good heavy missiles, and I didn't want to use tier 1 heavy missile launchers, so I just used the best cruise missile launchers I could find. And it was a little bit harder, but it wasn't impossible to fit it that way. Also on the Praxis, I grouped up the missile turrets, where on the Golem, I like to use 2 different types of damage type missiles, and that is EM and whatever the green missiles are, I forget. But it's pretty much EM damage, and what would it be? Explosive or kinetic damage is the green missiles. Oh, they're called Scourge missiles, yeah, that's it. Alright, now we're warping into the next pocket. I want to talk about the next con that I found about the Praxis that's takes a little bit to explain, but I'll get right into it. So when I was fitting the Praxis, I had the thought in mind where I wanted it to have as much, at least be comparable to the Golem as far as damage per second, or the amount of damage it was doing in hull. To enable it to do that, I had to use medium drones to get it to do a similar amount of damage. And to be honest with you, I don't hardly ever use medium drones or large drones, and I'm going to tell you why right now. When you're running these level 4 missions, the problem is that the medium and the heavy drones just get beat to hell. And even in the first pocket, you'll notice I started off with like 22 drones of the Vespa 2s, which are like, right now it's about 1 mil to 1.2 mil per drone. And so I basically lost 6 or 7 mil just in drones in the first pocket alone. And the biggest issue about this next pocket is that when I run out of drones, because they just get the crap beat out of them. You'll notice a couple times, and even if I manage to get it all in the video, I'm trying to make this video less than 20 minutes. But the problem is that in this second pocket here, I literally run out of drones. I pull them in a couple times to get the aggro off of them and try to take the aggro of the entire pocket onto myself. But as soon as I put the drones back out, they just get destroyed like immediately by all the smaller and medium-sized cruisers. So basically the frigates and the destroyers in the pocket immediately target the drones whenever I send them in to destroy stuff, and that's really bad. So that's another con in my book of why the Golem is better than the Praxis, because on the Golem, to get the same amount of damage, I use light combat drones, and they're much harder for the NPCs to target those drones, and they end up doing just a really good consistent amount of damage because of that. And also it costs me much less to replace those drones, not to mention that they hardly ever get destroyed. So here you're going to notice that I'm running out of drones. I'm down to like 2 or 3. And I'm running out of cap also. So I'm going to end up having to warp out here. And I've never had to do that before. And, I have, but not in a very long time. Not with my skill level. So I'm not saying it's not 100% the ship. I'm not saying it's 100% the ship, part of it is just a lack of technical skills on my part as far as flying the ship and using my skills properly and my weapons properly and whatnot. But with that being said, you run out of drones, it takes a significant amount of damage away from you. So here I go, I'm warping out, and I'm gonna go grab the Golem real quick. Okay, my pilots, so here we are warping in on the Golem. You're going to notice I have my two different types of damage type missiles equipped. I got the EM and the kinetic type damage. I got my Bastion module ready to go. We got the drone leg augmenter in the high slot. We got the auto targeting system and a tractor beam. We also are running the GIST. I don't remember if it's type A through C, but it's a GIST shield regenerator and the shield amplifier, and we got the GISTs, the multi-spectrum shield hardeners, a couple of different ones there. We got one of the multi-spectrum, I think it's a thermal or an explosive, and also a kinetic one. We got the target painter, and we got 4 of the damage boost in the low slots for the missiles as well. So I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what happens here. I pretty much just hit the Bastion module. I target all these ships all at once because there's only, 7 left, and we just go to town on these guys. It's pretty much not even fair. I mean, the Golem is just wrecks level 4 missions. It's awesome. They don't stand a chance. Even, I don't think I lose a single drone. I'm using the Hornet 2s. It's a light combat drone. You can see one right there has 2 bars in the red, and it doesn't even take a single hit point of damage. It just hangs in there the whole time, and we make really quick work of these guys. All in all, even though I lost 22 drones at 1.2 mil each in the first and second pocket here, I still came out ahead. These level 4 missions are very profitable. You'll notice that you'll probably get, on this mission, I'll probably get anywhere from 50, right around 50 mil of income, and then, minus the 22 mil for drones or whatnot, but still very profitable for less than an hour's worth of time, especially if you don't have to go back and switch ships. Alright, friends and fellow pilots, as we approach the last pocket to this mission, let's talk a little bit about rating these 2 ships against each other. The Praxis has going for it the following. It's a great price, it does great damage, and has an insane amount of slots for equipment. Great for alpha players looking for some big heavy battleship goodies. It's cool looking and can tank pretty much anything when equipped properly. Now for the Golem. It's insanely expensive, but for some of us, it's very worth its price. It's very well balanced, and does exactly what it is needed to do. Tank and spank level 4 missions. All of its bonus stats really make it epic at one thing, but the Praxis is more of a multiple avenue type ship to give players more of a well-rounded experience. It allows you to, it gives bonuses to all kinds of different kinds of weapons. You can pretty much outfit it with either shield hardeners or armor hardeners and do pretty well. So definitely the type of ship where you can do multiple types of things at once. Alright guys, for the Praxis, I'm going to give it I can train it in 1 day out of 10. Still blows my mind you could fly that ship in 1 day if you really wanted to. And for the Golem, we got maybe the best one trick shoot you from 150 km tank and spank level 4 ship out of 10. Just good all around. Alright friends and fellow gamers, that's going to do it for this Golem versus Praxis video. Let me know in the comments which one you think you would rather fly if you had your choice between the two. I gotta be honest, I would pick the Golem, even though it costs 10 times more. It just has so many awesome characteristics, and you can tell by the gameplay footage that it just mows through level 4 missions unlike any other ship I've ever flown. A lot of you out there might not like Caldari ships. You might prefer energy weapons, you might prefer railguns, you might prefer energy turrets or live ammunition turrets. Whatever you guys like, it's all good. I mean, this is just a simple comparison. I'm not trying to sway you from one ship to the other. I know that the EVE Online community has the ships that they like, and they're gonna go with those ships. But hopefully this video was a little bit informative for you to make a decision on the type of ship you would rather fly, between those two anyways. Let me say once again, thank you very much for watching. It would really help me out if you guys would give this video a thumbs up for me. I'd really appreciate that. And don't forget to throw me a comment and let me know what you think, and hit that subscribe button. As always, my name is Roger. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care, everyone.